So, yeah, thanks, Stan and Steve, for coming on. It's good to, I enjoy doing these sorts of things just to have a good chat and so that other people who are potentially looking at joining James can sort of talk to some real life people and um, I guess find out a bit more of the journey and um, see that people can actually make it through and do really well. So, Steve, would you mind just sort of, I guess, introduce yourself, explain where you are, um, and what made you look at a life change? Because it's a pretty major change that you've made.
It is, yeah. So I'm Steve Roby and I'm based at Upper Coomera on the Gold Coast. Um, what made me decide to do it is I was working long hours in the motor vehicle industry and I wasn't getting the rewards for the hours I was putting in, the effort I was putting in. I just felt like I was a number the whole time. And I just wanted to go out and I thought to myself, if I put in those amount of hours for myself, anything's possible money wise. So yeah, that's what made me jump into it, and the lifestyle also to have more time at home and more time to myself was a big factor, along with the fitness element as well, because I like to stay active, but the whole body doesn't allow me to play sports anymore. So um, this is a good way to stay active as well, and you're in a different location every hour or however long the job may be. So when I was in the office running all the businesses that I ran, I was in the same office for 10, 12 hours a day. You barely get outside. So they've been the major factors for me.
Right. Okay. And for yourself, Sam, you want to introduce? You're a bit closer to heaven up in paradise in North Queensland. And yeah, what
God's
did you used to
country.
do before, James? What made you look at a life change?
Hi, my name is Sam Teresi. I'm based in Mareeba, far north Queensland. Um, Previously, panel beater by trade, and then had enough of that. Went on to do some farming, have an extensive farming background, grew up on a cane farm. So went on to manage a couple of farms and ended up in a local pack shed, which in turn ended up being working 70 to 80 hours a week. So the work-life balance wasn't quite there. So we started looking for other things, businesses, whatever we were looking for. We ended up finding James. Look at starting a business of our own, but James Home Services had it all. It had the quoting, the computer systems, the marketing. So it was a no-brainer for us. I wanted to look for something that could swing that work-life balance back into my favour, because being your own boss too was a draw card, a very big draw card. So yeah, it was a no-brainer in the end of the day.
And for you, Sam, have you enjoyed the change?
Absolutely loved it, and still loving it. So being your own boss, calling your own shots, managing your own hours, your own holidays. You haven't got a boss looking over your shoulder, telling you what to do, how to do, when to do, what not to do, all that sort of stuff. I've had a lot of good bosses in the past, but this trumps the lot.
Yeah, awesome. And how about for you, Steve? How are you finding it so far?
Yeah, I find it great. I've actually I've really enjoyed the time that I've had to myself, and that's not by design. That was just through the drought that we had and winter. So that aspect of it's been really good. And I also, exactly the same as Sam, I do enjoy the autonomy of it, and no micromanagement. So you can just like you say, you can control your own hours. You set your own schedule, what you want to work to. So yeah, that part of it, I'm so glad I did it.
One of the questions I often get asked, so sort of in the role that I have is, as you guys know, is meeting new people. So both of you actually, when you inquired, the inquiries came to me, we met, walked through the journey. I get a lot of common questions from people, and one of them is, where do the jobs sort of come from? And I find there's this perception that often, if I have my own business, if I'm in a franchise, I can just sit at home and they're just going to send me the jobs and I just go do the jobs. What's your experience? What's reality? How do you get your jobs? You go for it, Sam.
So when you join James, you get trained up in the 51 ways of marketing. So you basically got to put yourself out on the front line, go and meet people, go and talk to businesses. There's obviously one way or a couple of ways of getting your name out there. Business knock and drops, leaflet drops. Basically get your name out there, and what you put into it, you will definitely get out of it. So the James system is proven, tried and tested, and I'm pretty sure Steve will say the same thing. It works. What you put into it, you will get out of it. With calls coming in, calls are always coming in. In my patch, it's a big thing is word of mouth, your reputation around town. It works pretty good.
Yeah. So for you, Steve, what sort of things did you have to do to get the jobs rolling? I mean, yes, James does all this advertising when you kick off, but for you, what sort of activities have you found really work for you?
I've found the social media and the Google business page to be the best by far. So especially Facebook. So we're on all the community pages, even outside of my area. So we're on those, and we post every single week on there. And then, I'll go on and put a comment and bump it as well the next day or whatever that may be. So we try to change the picture every week as well. And then also with the Google profile, I try to do 2 a week. I put videos on there, which is proving quite difficult at the moment because my GoPro's playing up, but I put some videos on there. I've always put a lot of photos before and afters, and also trying to get reviews. Reviews are a big thing as well. In actual fact, I've been a little bit slack on that of late and haven't asked for any, which I'm going to this afternoon. But yeah, I think if you get some good reviews on there, people do go off that. And I also find once you get that original conversation with the owner or with the customer, you've got to do what you say you're going to do. So if you say you're going to be there at 9, you've got to be there at 9.
Absolutely correct.
And I also find, as I approach, I'm walking up and trying to find something that I can talk about with the customer to make it not like just me turning up trying to win your money. So if they got a dog, I'll go and pat the dog. Oh, I love dogs, which I do love dogs. And, I try and come across really friendly to the start. And I find that has worked wonders for me also.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that often so you guys both have a lawn and garden business. One of the things I find with often in lawn and garden guys are really new to or not computer gurus. Do either of you profess to be computer gurus?
Hell no.
I won't say a guru, but I've worked with computers the last 20 years and had to teach myself how to use them. So yeah, it's all the program that we have that is part of James has been pretty easy for me. That's not been a struggle whatsoever.
Great. And I know, Sam, when we went through when you were looking first at the business, that was one of your big concerns. How have you found it, learning to use the computer?
It was definitely a big concern of mine heading into starting your own business. Previous experience with computers was next to nothing. But with talking to Justin and a few of the other guys about the computer system, Butler, how it interlinks with Xero, the accounting package, it is so user-friendly. And I can 100% attest to being able to navigate through Butler quite easily. invoicing, quoting, punching in all the information as you go, setting up a quote. It is very user friendly. That's the only way I could really explain it. Yeah.
Yeah.